Hey. So, I honestly don't even know where this is going to go. Um YouTube is kind of like having a lot of changes though, right? I mean, all social media platforms are probably having like a lot of changes right now. And I say that because this needs to be in a better place. I say this because usually oh shit, look at it. Ooh, fuck. Alright, so we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna have to edit this video. And now I'm blurry. I think it's my coconut oil. Y'all have to excuse me if this video is kind of blurry. But this is the authentic Empress. Some of you guys know who are familiar with me. Others of you who are not familiar with me, I am a Master 33 holder, natal chart, birth chart holder. In this lifetime, I'm not going to give you my full birthday, but I was born on what Earthlings consider Earth Day 422. I'm also born on the cusp of Aries and Taurus. I am a Taurus sun, which is also the cusp of power. And the reason why I say I am specifically a Venusian Master 33 because I know there are other, obviously, Master 33, Master 22, Master number holders in general with different unique birth sequences. And mine just so happened to be like a quadruple. I have like a lot of Venusian placements. So that's just an energy for me that's most significant. One, my sun sign is a Venusian zodiac. My rising and my north node are both Venusian, which is Libra, and my Mercury is also Venusian, which is Taurus. So yeah, that's where that came from. Also, the reason why I call myself, or I believe the Most High gave me this title. I know the Most High gave me this title. The Authentic Empress is because I live my life very authentically. I'm all natural. That's just like that's the stance that I choose to forge in this lifetime, especially for like other little girls and stuff like that, and especially for my daughters and the legacy that I want to create and leave in this lifetime. I want to establish a sense of dignity, integrity, and confidence in being your all natural self. This is no shade to anybody else who does whatever way that they choose. However, I'm not going to be apologetic about it, and I don't need to excuse myself for how I choose to live my life, because there's a lot of people in my past who have been offensive, or who felt that I was being offensive and was defensive, as a result of me just expressing that boldly and not just being a part of my message, a part of, who I am as a person, whenever I'm really just standing my ground in that. And some people kind of turn it into like false competitions and stuff like that. And, that's also something you will be specifically, well, in a sense susceptible to when you have significant Aries placements. And like I said, I'm born on the cusp of Aries and Taurus, so that's the cusp of power. So I've dealt with a lot of power struggles, people doing these power struggles with me, from men and women, from any kind of arena of life, including family. These are just the kind of things that comes with my spreadsheet for how the Most High has written my life. Like, for example, my Mars placement is in its home sign, which is of Aries, which is about a lot of passion, impulses, warfare, warriorhood, confrontation, mind things, you know, with the ram and stuff like that. So yeah, just to give like a little bit of context or whatever about who I am for those of you who are new, are not that familiar with me, or those of you who are, and you know, maybe you didn't know these things or whatever, right? So yeah, y'all, I just want to give like a little background of, you know, what do you mean Venusian Master 33, right? And that's just saying because, you know, and look, High Priestess, because I know that there's other, you know, master teachers, Master 33 holders out there, who have different birthdays, right? And they serve, you know, specifically different purposes and stuff of that nature. Okay, so I got on here and I was just saying like Confessions of Venusian Master 33 because earlier today I was having like some thoughts and stuff, you know, because I just kind of just been working on, just focusing my energy, honing my energy in on other things, that I am just, it's just a part of my path. And so I kind of just like been in the background social media wise, and just kind of just watching, observing. And there's a lot of, you know, all kind of hoopla going on, right? Positively and negatively, benevolently and malevolently, you know, to be fair. That balancing that's occurring right before our very eyes. I don't know about anybody else, but I found myself to be the person who has come to really appreciate, and I am like fascinated by those signs, those zodiacal energies that a lot of people shy away from or have like a lot of negative judgment concerning, like Aquarius energy, Scorpionic energy, what's another one? Capricorn. I guess you can even say Gemini to a degree, but the main ones for me is Aquarius, Capricorn, and Scorpio. And you know, that's like a whole nother video about that. But yeah, so I'm at a place where I've, you know, met my fair share of benevolent and malevolent in each zodiac sign. And so, and in an in between type of thing, you know, but in between, you know, that's, yeah, but, for example, I learned something very significant today concerning lions. You know, if we was to get to the Leo energy and stuff like that, I came across some information that was basically just giving a scope, a different perspective on what we know, or what we know lions and lioness and just other animals in relation, like what we've grown to know and understand about them. And you know, the way that this scope that this person gave, this perspective, it just resonated so much with a toxic, a low vibrational and inverted Leo energy that I have experienced in this lifetime, and you know, not too long ago. And it's so crazy, you know, just how they was talking about the lioness and the lions, how it really is the lioness that kind of rules things. You know, this is just, you know, another scope. They were saying that it's lioness that kind of rules things, and how the lioness team up together and they work together type of thing, and that lioness have even been known to overthrow their own partners or mates, the masculine figure in the group, the lion, right? And how the lionesses have even teamed up together to overthrow the lion, and what do you call them? I guess you can say the pack or whatever. I know that's something that's usually associated with wolves, but the tribe, I can't really think It's not really coming to me right now. But yeah, and I just found that very interesting. Because it made me think about this person and how this is someone who kind of puts off or puts on this idea that they're kind of running things on their own, when in actuality they are like working with others, you know, secretly. It's not really secret to those who have eyes to see. It's not a secret to me. However, that's just the stance that this person takes. And just everything that they was saying, like how they described it, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, they were saying how lions, how they steal food from hyenas. Another thing too, like there's a kind of animal, I think it's called an African calf or an African something, bro. I want to say it's like in the family of like bulls and, you know, those like the horned animals, like big bodied horned animals. And to watch that, these animals ain't no joke. Like basically they were saying how they just have like a massive body rate of like doing motherfuckers in, you feel me? And I've watched, this person showed a clip of these animals literally pulmonating lionesses, you know, these cat animals and stuff like that, like nothing. I mean, like rad dogs just tossing their ass. And you know, they were saying that their whole concept is they'll pummel your ass, and then they'll sit back and wait to see if you gonna get up, and then if you get up, they'll come back and pummel your ass again, and they're gonna keep that same tactic. They'll pummel your ass, step back, watch, observe, see how you. Oh, you still moving? Oh, you still trying to? Oh, you still on that BS? Okay, you come back again. Oh, come back again. You feel me? Until there's no movement, no motion in your body anymore. You know, and to witness that on video, real actual animals, I was just like, that meme? That meme with that guy, he's just like, yeah, like it was like that type of reaction. So I was like, okay. Interesting. They even talked about like baboons. I cannot remember this guy's name. I'm so sorry. Like it was literally like just random. I've seen him a few times. But it was literally just random when it was on my timeline. And so they talked about, literally he kind of emphasized the animals that's like in Lion King, like Rafiki, you know, the baboon, you know, those different kind of animals, and just give like a different scope and perspective of these animals, how they will, like how he basically said baboons will set your ass up, like they'll be the lookout, and then they'll play blind as fuck, like, you feel me, in this motherfucker, like I ain't see shit, as in they could, like they're the lookout, and but they don't warn the other animals when their predator is like nearby or like literally about to pounce on their ass. So they kind of just sit back and observe, and they make sure their young are, you know, are looked out for. And it's kind of this idea, well, the idea, you know, the perspective that the person was giving on the video. They was saying kind of like the idea of, as long as mine's is good, I really don't give a damn what's going on with yours. You know, if it's better yours than mine type shit. You feel me? Even though I could have done something, I could have alarmed you or alerted you, you know, I'd rather not, because if I alert you, it's probably gonna be my ass. And what's so crazy about it, even though they do this doesn't mean that they side with, you know, the lions, you know, stuff like that. Because they were showing also footage of how they would steal some cubs and kill them. You feel me? Like, just to, you know, once again, this is a human giving their perspective, you know, from clips, like real clips of like these animals, like interactions. And it was kind of just giving their perspective on how, you know, but a baboon has been known to kill cubs. And, you know, to them, you know, they were saying possibly with the idea of preventing another lion from another cub from from becoming a lion, a lioness, and then thus becoming another threat or predator to their family. All right, so it's like he wasn't really working with them either. He was just kind of looking out for his own ass type shit. Anyway, so I know that's like kind of, hey, look, I don't know, something in my spirit was just saying like, do a video, you know, so do a video. However, when I was thinking about confessions earlier, I wanted to kind of debunk this whole idea that some people have about feeling like they don't need anybody. Oh, I don't need nobody, you know, I can do bad all by myself. I can do, well, a lot of people can't do bad all by yourself. If you really think about the words, yes, you can do bad all by yourself. But I don't know, you know, I'm the type of person, you know, I really look at things from like a large scope. And what I mean is that whole idea of you don't need nobody, you know, to get what you got, to get what you, to do whatever. You don't need anybody. Is that really true? Because there was one time I said before, you know, everybody, and some people disagree with this. This is just my perspective, right? I remember saying before, everybody needs somebody, even if it's just the Most High. Even if it's just you and the Most High, your spiritual relative, your spiritual, you know, family, your spiritual support system, who are, you know, typically unseen to the mortal eye, but they're there, right? You connect with them, you communicate with them, you interact with them. Some people don't even interact with them, and some of their divine ancestors are still there, or you know, these divine angels or the Most High is still active in their life, depending on that person's heart, right? So are you really doing things without another person? Because even if we debunk, you know, the spiritual, you know, essence of this, for people who just kind of like, they don't believe in God, you know, they feel like that's malarkey, you know what I'm saying? Like, they feel like people are cool, you know, who really entertain that idea, you know, kind of on like the fence of, well, what is kind of going on with your soul? You know, what's inhabiting your vessel? Because at the end of the day, if there's nothing inside your vessel, there's not really, you're kind of, how are you able to persist, you know, and move about, right? Because the life source, the life force is really your soul, your spirit that inhabits your vessel, your body. Like, who's driving the vehicle? You get what I'm saying? So if it's not something divine or benevolent, then more than likely it's something malevolent or demonic. So in essence, you're still working with someone else. You still have somebody that there's some type of codependency on. Okay, follow me. So yeah, I was just thinking about how there's a lot, not a lot, there a lot. Okay. But something that I like to be very clear about too, you know, whenever when we're speaking on extremes, is to keep in mind that grace always abounds. So, in balance, right? Just as there are, you know, it's a lot of evil, it's a lot of, you know, imbalance in the world. There's also a lot of balance, you know, and a lot of divinity in the world, right? So, just to keep that in mind. Because at the end of the day, like a really good example of that would be, think about how massive, you know, Earth is, and how beautiful, like there's so many scenic, beautiful places and landscapes, and so many beautiful creatures of, you know, so many varieties, you know, of butterflies, fish, flowers, you know, all these different things that hold so much beauty, so much, you know, beneficial physical, spiritual, mental properties, you know, that can heal and aid your body. You know, when we think about herbs and we think about all these different foods and fruits and stuff and all these different things all over the world, right? That's a lot of divinity dwelling amongst us. So that's just, you know, a good idea, a good concept, you know, to keep in mind, right? And, you know, I'm on a stance that, and this is not to degrade anyone, this, that, and the third, but when people get to a place, when they get as far as committing suicide and stuff like that, you know, for somebody like me, suicide is never an option, for the simple fact that what I just said about how there's so much divinity, so much beauty that is dwelling among us, you know, that is there. Grace, right? Grace, divinity is there, right? And there's so many things that you have yet to experience that is of divinity, you know, beautiful, you know, and that's of God, you know, that's a reflection of the purity of, you know, the pureness of life, right? It's there. It's there. Um, and you know, another thing about it too, even though there's like a lot of experiences, I feel like there's a lot of experience. It takes a whole lot of shitty ass experiences for a person to like truly become dark and sinister, or like some severe traumatic experiences, right? You know, things of that nature. But you know what's crazy about it? Um, I feel like very few experiences that are divine and, you know, pure and, you know, genuine, sincere, and beautiful, whatever, can really break down a lot of fuck shit, you know, that has been cultivated within a person. Um, and that's just, you know, my perspective on it, you know, especially coming from somebody, you know, who has experienced like a lot of crazy shit, you know, traumatic shit that I did not deserve, you know. So, have I ever done things that was mean? Yes, I have. I certainly have. We'll talk about that another time. But I have but see, this is my thing. There's a such thing as like a benevolent darkness, right? And so, whenever I did things that was, you know, quote unquote mean, in my perspective, I was doing it out of, you know, getting justice for myself or others. Like, for example, there's a situation when I was in grade school when there was this girl who kind of established a name and a reputation of defaming other girls, and, you know, setting herself up to kind of look like she's just creme de la creme, you know what I'm saying? And she done fucked up and messed around and tried to pull me into that shit. You feel me? Speaking on my name, you know, disrespectfully and ill, you know. And so I've had, you know, girls. See, at that time, I kind of had a reputation of confrontation, like, or confronting people whom, you know, unanimously we deemed as somebody that was just being unfair or doing an injustice to us, like in our classes and stuff like that, including teachers, mostly teachers. Anyway, and so I remember some of these quote unquote, you know, targeted girls that she targeted coming to me, and, you know, they was just like, oh shit, she done said something about Jada. Oh, we gotta tell Jada. Da 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 da. You know, secretly hoping that I would do to her what I have done to adults who was just bonkers, you know, at the time. And so I did. You know, I went, they let me know she was in the bathroom. They all went in there, huddled around and shit like that. We waited for her to come out the stall. She came out the stall, I'm just standing there. And she's just looking around. You know, of course that would be intimidating, the fact that you got all the girls that you done spread rumors about just standing around, like, and we just in this bathroom, and it's like, anywho, so I basically confronted her about it, you know, like, okay, so, you know, this is what was said to me, that you said these things concerning me. Is it true? And I basically just said something. I basically kind of just warned her. I didn't really threaten her, but I basically just warned her, and I said something to, like, I just confronted her about it. And I basically told her about herself, you know. I told her my thoughts of her as a result of her making those decisions. And what she then did, she cued crocodile tears. Or she tried to act like shit was cool right then and there. But then she went behind my back and went to one of our most sensitive, emotionally unstable teachers, elderly teacher, and, you know, said that I bullied her or I did something to her, right? And so I already had, like, I think up to 14 write-ups just from me, like, confronting people whom I felt, who I deemed, treated me unfairly or beneath them, including teachers. Like, I don't care. You can be a teacher, you can have your position, but that doesn't deem you the authority to disrespect or belittle somebody younger than you. That's not what we're not gonna do that. I'm not your pet. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not the teacher's pet. I'm not that. You feel me? I've had some teachers who loved me, adored me, but no. They had respect, and they actually loved what they did, and they loved the kids. Like, they loved, they really had a passion for what they were doing. So that was totally different, right? So yeah, that's an example of me doing something mean. I'm not going to say that's the only thing I've done mean, or what people, the general public, may deem as mean. For me, it was for a cause, like an activist, an advocate cause, but to others, it would be seen as a mean gesture, right? Just like that lady deemed that what I did was mean, but to me, I'm just standing up for other people whom did not stand up for themselves, and they trusted me enough to do that, to get that done. So I did, Oh, look. Empress. Anyway, what else? So back to what I was saying about this whole concept of, oh, I don't need nobody, and oh, I got all this by myself. I did not. Even if you work a job, somebody put money in your pocket to do those things that you're saying you did by yourself. Gotta find balance in that, because you worked for somebody who put money in your pocket. So you needed that that employer. You needed that system. You needed something. You needed the person who created your car, who built your car. You needed the person who gave you a body, who gave you a mind. You needed people, builders, and carpenters to build that structure that you go and you work at. You needed somebody to grow that produce for you to eat and consume. You needed that person who alchemized, these foods into other forms, right? Dry foods, or cooking the foods, restaurants. You needed these cooks, these chefs. You needed some. So it's like you can't really get away from that. And I understand what people are saying when they say, oh, I did this all by myself. Ain't nobody help me. Ain't nobody help me do this. And there are some things, internally within yourself that only you, in essence can do without mortals. But there's nothing that you do without, like, your spiritual assistance, or support. That's just my stance on that. That's coming from my perspective. I attribute all of my talents, my gifts, and my abilities to, the Most High, to my spirit family, to my divine ancestors, my divine lineage, my heritage. I attribute all of that, my past lives and whomever else, or whatever else was a part of my past lives, to kind of help cultivate or give me ideas and inspiration and this, that, and the third, all these different things that are unseen in the unseen. I needed that, I needed that, but it's kind of like a two-way street type of thing. It's like they need me too to be a trusted vessel, to responsibly govern myself, so that as they're, blessing me or increasing me in these abilities, gifts, and talents, and, skill sets, and this, that, and the third, trusted me to operate my vessel responsibly, to generate more, purity, generate more good, generate more divinity, more balance, whatever, right? Be abundantly with those energies, right? So yeah, and it's really unfortunate that there's people out here tainting the minds of others, with this whole idea of, oh, you have to do this all by yourself, and breaking, you, like, literally traumatizing people, putting people or inducing, like, heartbreaks unnecessarily, whether it be that person or causing that person to induce and heartbreak into another person, another individual who's kind of like being affected by whatever that person's choices are, based off whatever improper guidance or misled or misinformation that they're being fed by someone, you know, who to a degree they have some type of trust or respect for, or and not even that, but you know, in some people's cases, the people whom they are used to, you know, they're most used to this person, or people taking advantage of their time that they've had in people's lives. Look at this 10-10, taking advantage of their position and their place, you know, in people's lives and stuff like that. The dependency factor, right? So even if we're talking about guardianship and parents and stuff like that, abusing that dependency factor, that's kind of like an automatic establishment, you know, just the whole process of a person being, first of all, coming out your bowels, going into, you know, your uterus, your womb space, formulating, growing, this, that, and a third, having to be, you know, dependent upon you once they come out of the womb, to depend on you to push them out of the womb, to make sure, you know, they're safe, they get carried to where they need to go, they get fed, you know, these things, because you know, a baby, a infant human is not able to walk, not able to do those things, right? So it's very unfair for guardians, for adults, for older ups, elders, humans, you know, any person who has some type of establishment, emotionally or psychologically or energetically with a person, to then abuse that by projecting negative concepts or bitterness, unresolved, you know, issues, traumas, heartache, grudges, you know, these type of things onto somebody, or, you know, what's another word? I want to say expired, expired information or expired understanding, expired ideas and stuff like that. That's just, or ideas, you know, that may be fitting for you, but, you know, it's at no regard of this person's, you know, individuality, their uniqueness, their originality, their authentic selves, right? And you're just kind of, you know, bombarding them with ideas and concepts that's coming from your soul, you know, at the expense of them neglecting their own soul's recipe and remedy. That's not okay. You know, and that's a spiritual violation. That's a violation of spiritual law, universal law and code, whether people realize it or people want to admit it or not, right? Okay, that's another thing that I saw today. I saw this guy, and here's another thing too that I want to touch on: how social media has given people too much power, putting power in the wrong hands, and making people feel validated just because they have large followings or like support, you know, seemingly support this, that, and a third, and, you know, allowing people to, you know, put out this say so, and their say so is totally imbalanced, lacking a lot of information, a lot of intuitive wisdom, lots of intuition and discernment, right? Lots of wisdom. It's just completely script of that. But these people, because they have these platforms and they have so many, you know, large followings, it's so many people in the world, y'all. It's so many people in the world. And it could be 1 million people on a following and all them motherfuckers demonic as fuck. That's possible. That is possible, because why? We know that demonic individuals, demonic energies, they run in fucking groups. And, you know, for them, it's like the more the merrier. For them, it's like masses. For them, it's like a majority over the minority type shit. You feel me? And this is what makes them feel all powerful, right? So for them, their strength is in numbers type shit. You feel me? Like mortal numbers. So we have to keep that in mind. And just because these people have these large, you know, subscriber counts and, you know, this, that, and a third, that does not, you know, make them a person who's vindicative or a person who is credible, you know, or factual or in alignment with the truth, right? So there was this white guy, he's probably closer to my age, but he basically did this whole defamement of this black girl who is a reader. she reads tarot and this, that, and the third. So there was a situation, a global situation. It became global, a global situation that had occurred, you know, where innocent lives were taken. And so she expressed how she felt led and governed, you know, to look into that, you know, investigate that situation. And then she expressed, you know, the information that she's gathered from that, you know, from her guides. This guy went on a whole rant and, you know, defamation the situation on his channel, on his platform, basically belittling her, mocking her, you know, all these, you know, different things, and feeling justified and vindicated because there's a lot of ignorant people in the world who's going to stand by him and agree with what he's saying, who's already, you know, made rants and made their own little personal videos and their say-sos and their TikToks and blah, 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 speaking ignorance of something that they just do not understand, do not care to understand, because of what they were taught by their parents or traditions, or because they are just one-sided as mental. They just have a one-sided, you know, as mental processing. You know, they're just not very brilliant, intelligente. They're just not really, you know, muy inteligente. No muy inteligente at all. And so it's crazy because when I asked my guys, you know, if she was telling the truth, I was told that she was telling the truth. Despite, you know, people who have money, you know what I'm saying, or people who have status, who are able to do unlawful, spiritually unlawful things, but seemingly earthly lawful things. I don't even want to say earthly, worldly, because there's a difference between the world and earth. There's a difference between the universe, galaxies, and the world, from as we know it, you know, when it comes to being educated spiritually, right? So she ended up being sued for defamation, even though, but now you have people turning around defaming her or whatever because they feel justified and vindicated, trying to, you know, claim that, well, she defamed this person, you know, who's a teacher and blah, blah, blah. Okay, do we not know by now that there's a lot of teachers who aren't shit? They're full of shit. Do we not know by now that it's easy to get certain jobs and get into certain places and certain positions? Do we not know by now that there's been a lot of teachers who's abused their position? It's a fucking breeding ground for pedophiles. It's a breeding ground for people who have any type of distorted perceptions or conceptions, you know, ideas concerning the youth in general, right? So why wouldn't, it's like, it's not unheard of for injustices, imbalances, you know, to occur in these type of settings with these people with these type of positions. It's not unheard of. And so for him to get on his platform, because he has all these people that's going to like his shit and that's going to give him like a false sense of, you know, feeling like he's right. You know, he's right in his argument. Let me keep this up. Let me do this some more. There's even a term for it in psychology, and I can't even, it's not really coming to me right now. Reinforcement. Positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. So he's receiving like these negative, you know, reinforcements and this, that, and the third because of the likes, and comments, subscribes. Even though he's completely just ignorant as fuck, you know, in his stance, you know, and his whole idea, his whole conception of this, right? So it's just like, but do that though, because here's the thing about how divine, you know, how the universe plays out. Yeah, do that. Do everything that you're doing, defaming this person whom, because what he did, he just totally denounced the whole idea of tarot. He even ignorantly made a statement saying that no police take tarot seriously at all. You, my friend, are very, very unlearned. Are very, very unlearned if you think that there is no history, that there is no history whatsoever of people taking advantage of oracles, readers, seers in order to find out crimes or get evidence or information pertaining to crimes, right? In order to will justice in a situation. to find their loved ones, or, you know, get justice for their loved ones. So you are very unlearned. He is just a very unlearned person, and he just literally talks out his ass. Talks out his ass. Stuff that's supposed to be going in the toilet and flushed. He's speaking it, he's regurgitating this shit out of his fucking esophagus and his tongue. And there's this lady that I grew up with, who was a prophetess, and I remember she talked about how the tongue is a pink tornado. Like, she called the tongue a pink tornado, and just talk about just how powerful the tongue is and how destructive it can be, you know, negatively, you know. Yeah, so, but like I was saying, as universal law plays out, you know, the law of balance, right? He's gonna do that, and he's gonna have like a very tough time. I don't care, you know, if his fan base don't see it on the screen, or if they could even fathom what bad karma looks like when a person is under judgment. Maybe they can't even fathom it. Obviously, they can't fathom, you know, being able to have discernment in a situation. You know, just to totally denounce something like divination tools. Are you serious? And it's so crazy because this is the hanged man. So he done hung himself. Okay. This is also talking about perceptions, perspectives, how we see things. Needed to see things from a different angle. Needed to look at all angles of a situation, and he just wasn't that kind of person. So I was just reflecting on that, like, wow. And that's just one of the things that I just wanted to touch on, like, to talk about, because I don't know, like I said, something just told me to just get on here and just, you know, just talk. So this is just how my mind operates, you know, being a Master 33 holder, because, you know, for anyone to be a teacher and stuff like that, you have to be a student, you know, to life. You have to be a student to your own life, your own personal life, be a student to the lives of others, be a student, you know, to, you know, just be a student, like just ever learning student, you know, seeking wisdom, being open to, you know, gaining wisdom at all times, wherever you are. Or, you know, seeking knowledge, just that and the third, right? And definitely seeking it, you know, being available, being clear enough within yourself, meditative, you know, mindly within yourself, so that you can receive information that is not really here, but it's in the unseen, you know, it's coming from, you know, higher placements, right? So that intuitive wisdom that a lot of people forfeit, and I say forfeit because some people just completely write it off, you know, they don't, you know, they shun it out, they block it out, you know, they're small-minded, whatever. And then other people, you know, they kind of just miss out because of the distractions, the endless distractions. Distractions will be endless in every lifetime. All distractions are not bad. However, it will do a lot of people some justice to have more discipline, self-discipline, and self-control, which is, in essence, balance. You need these things to be able to balance, right? Everything, your moods, your energy, personalities, you know, all these different things. So, yeah, I know, like, I haven't really been, like, on here in a minute, and yeah, like, I was just thinking about that. I don't really know if there's much else I want to say. I got these cards in my hand. So we talking about, okay, secrets. So we're just talking about, like, deeper intuitive knowledge, intuitive wisdom, right? With the moon card here. And you know why? Because look, so we got yin yang, but you see, just look how symbolically cryptic this card is. So you got the white pyramid, but you got the black dog here, or wolf, or jackal. And then you have the black pyramid, and you have this white animal standing right in front of it. That's all intentional. And then you got the Scorpio here, right? So that deep, so mysteries, revelations, right? All of those things, you know, that's in the depths, like the bottoms of the water, the treasures, you know, deep down in the bottom of the water, you know, especially concerning emotional energy or intuitive energy, spiritual energy, right? And perception. Then we have the moon, and you see all these inscriptions here, right? Egyptian hieroglyphs. Is that in the third? That not just anybody is able to process and learn, or willing, right, to have the patience or to learn or understand and process these things. So this is just like the concept of what I'm just getting, like just in the energy in general, and I'm just like reflecting, like, you know, or this is kind of like the essence of, you know, that energy, you know, as, you know, holding that type of energy of a master 33, right? What else? So when you think about 33, 33 is a very, you know, it's a very significant number in all of this, and just in life in general, and not just that, like when you think about Masons, and it's in the third, and being like builders, and what's another word? Yeah, and then you got the Queen of Swords here as well. The Queen of Swords, to clear up any confusion or misconceptions, right? With this Seven of Cups energy. So yeah. And then I see the Three of Wands here. Now I know the Three of Wands means different things to different people, but for me it's always resonated as a wisdom factor. Why? Because you got the Two of Wands that's like kind of making a decision, choosing a path, right? And possibly turn away, so meaning turn away from another path, choosing another path, and just making a decision between two, right? And then you got the Ace of Wands, right? Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, Three of Wands. So with the Three of Wands, I think of it as that middle ground factor. You got the middle ground, you got both sides of a situation, and then there's a middle ground of that situation too. And needing to be able to like see all of it, you know, and make like an intuitive decision, or an intuitive understanding, processing of a situation, right? And so you see people on these social platforms who don't really operate like that, but there's a middle ground, right? Even in what I just expressed, you have all variations of all of that. You have the people who do see things from that, you know, that total perspective, that 360, you know, perspective, right? You have some people who are just one-sided on here speaking and shit, right? You have some people who are like kind of neutral, or like it's different ways that all these energies manifest, that at the end of the day a lot of people's discernment is being challenged, right, to the 10th degree, the 33rd degree type shit. Like that shit is being challenged, and it's time to apply it. Like, have you really been paying attention? You know, have you really been, look, 10 of Pentacles, have you really been paying attention, right? Can you be a leader in your own life, you know, a leader of your own legacy, a leader of your own family, a leader of, you know, whatever, a leader of yourself, right? Or, you know, that achieving higher levels within yourself type shit, right? You're really going to need that. You're really going to need that. And some people are feeling like really burdened by this. Some people are feeling really burdened. Look, we got the Empress here again. So yeah, it's just crazy to me. Cause even in like a whole lot of, I'm telling you, like, it's illusions are so crafty, y'all. Illusions are very crafty. And despite, you know, worldly schools and stuff like that, like I always say, the most important school you will ever take or be in, whether you want to tap in or not, you still in it, right? The most important school that there will be is your life, your soul, your lifetime. That's the school within itself, okay? That's the school. That's the school. Because I'm telling you, these illusions are thick. Illusions are thick. They are. And it really depends on where you are within yourself, you know, for you to be able to properly, you know, discern and decipher and decode what's before you at all times or any given moment, even within yourself, right? So yeah, I'm not really trying to drag this out, because I need to cook. But you know what's crazy? Look at this. We got the Fool card, and then you got the Screen card. You know something else that's like very like, ooh, like you really gonna tiptoe on those grounds to just say that tarot ain't shit? That we're psychotic, we're delusional. Anybody who has the ability and gift to do that, who are lifetimes old probably, you really gonna say that this shit just has no merit, right? When Egyptian yoga, Egyptian religion, whatever you want to call it, or spirituality, is the oldest, most ancient known system that there is in this lifetime, known to man. But then you're going to say that these cards in my hand, right? These tarot cards in my hand with these hieroglyphs that I know for a fact he will not be able to process. You mean to tell me that it has no merit, it has no significance? Whew. Fool shit. That's what you call a fool. Being a fool. Walking right into that trap there. You go right ahead. You see how he's holding all this stuff? Like, I'm good. I got all my subscribers. I got my platforms. I got this. I got that. I'm good. I can say what the fuck I want to say. I can just speak loosely as fuck. Well, speak loosely. Continue speaking loosely on something that you have no wisdom about and understanding. Proper understanding. And you're just... Why even speak on something that you have no wisdom or understand? If you don't understand, if you don't get it, if you have no experience with it, why do you feel validated? Why do you feel empowered enough? We got strength here. Why do you feel empowered enough to speak on something you know nothing about? So what the hell kind of fake confidence is like being spewed around like these platforms? Like, I'm just wondering, like, anybody that's gonna watch this, pay attention to that. I mean, it's been going on, but still, like, just really pay attention to that. I'm like, this fake ass confidence that people have, like, you don't even look sure. And I really be looking at people like, cause I really see something like more than what people like show, you know, on, you know, outwardly, like or externally. I really be seeing deeper into situations, deeper into people, deeper into auras, all that shit. Like, anybody who really knows me or experienced me, you know, they will tell you, oh, that's an eye contact ass motherfucker. Like, look you in your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, piercing in your eyes. Like, gateway. You know? And I am like that. You know, I've experienced people who could not look me in my eyes, who struggle with eye contact. That's the thing. That's the thing. Some people overcome that. You know, some people, you know, conquer that. There are some people who shun that, you know, have shunned that in that person. You know, there's so many reasons why these imbalances manifest in people. And some people, you know, they get to a place where they build up the courage and the desire to work on these things, you know, and overcome, you know, these blockages and barriers and this, that, and the third. And you have other people who just totally kind of just give up and forfeit that. And a lot of times it can have something to do with the company that you keep, the terrible advice or terrible counsel that you're receiving. There is a saying that says a house with no counsel is not able to stand. So a temple, a house, a vehicle, a vessel, a vase, it's all the same thing pertaining to the human body. Whatever holds or is the host of your soul, right? All these things are different references symbolically or, you know, figuratively speaking, metaphorically speaking, whatever you want to say, but it's all talking about the same thing, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. Like, if you ain't got nobody in your circle, and it's not you, if it ain't you, you ain't got nobody around you, or you haven't cultivated, like, through these social platforms, because there are some good, you know, that you can gain, or if you have the discipline to control, you know, the understanding, you know, of this, to cultivate a setting or subscriptions, right? Get yourself, you know, aligned with sources where there's some sound counsel, even if it's from different perspectives, but these people are, you know, they're still giving, like, you know, in-depth perceptions, or especially I'm the type of person, I align with people who kind of have that 360 approach to things, or I know how to sort through the people, you know, the pools of people, and, you know, kind of just, you know, identify those individuals, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of, you have to know how to do that. That's an ability that you just have to know how to, you know, activate and, you know, just increase within yourself, you know, whatever, right? So yeah, Yep. We got the 8 of Cups and the High Priestess. High Priestess secrets in this mother. For real though. You know how it says the High Priestess knows a lot of things, whether she speaks on it or not. The High Priestess knows the secrets, whether she speaks on them or not. Right? But it's better to know to not know at all. It's better to find out. Alright? Than to just, you know what I'm saying? Like, be, especially like, you know, this is like pertaining to your journey. You know, the 8 of Cups is somebody that's like on a path, somebody that's moving forward. Like, you know, they're going on a quest, a journey, you know, something of that nature here, right? So, you know, on this journey, you know, you need to be learning. You need to be learning, right? So you can overcome things that you may have not overcome in your past life, or that, you know, people that you're connected to, whatever bloodlines or, you know, that you're connected to, in order to like kind of help transform and transcend, right? You know, or create some type of establishment, you know, to help other souls, you know, be guided, you know, more properly, or have a better chance, you know, at, you know, succeeding through this lifetime, so that they don't have to, you know, reincarnate into any, you know, crazy situations, you know, or unnecessary conflict and stuff like that, unless they choose to take on that battle, right? Or to go and help, you know, those who need help, you know, the more helpless at the time, right? So, you know, that's something, you know, we'll talk about, you know, another time. But ultimately, that stability, right, with the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, and you got the King of Wands, you know, your spiritual stability, right? And look at this. You can't make this shit up. And that's why I'm saying, honey, stick to what you know on your platform. Don't be speaking on what you don't know, because you barking up the wrong wand. You barking up the wrong staff. You barking up the wrong pyramid. Not everybody survived those pyramids. Everybody that invaded those pyramids and them temples, not everybody survived that shit. These curses be real as fuck. They be real. They be real. So it's better for you to respect it, rather than just to go and just be speaking loosely and shit, and you don't even see that crocodile, right? You don't even see that crocodile. You don't even see that crocodile, because you just all just, you feel me? You looking at everything around you that make you feel pumped up. Like, yeah, I'm going to say this. I'm going to do this. And it's like, woo, there's your foot in the trap. And you so busy looking at shit that matters like very, very minimally, that now you've neglected and forfeited the information and education out there that could have taught you how to free yourself from that trap and save your life. Hello. So, spirituality and the mysteries, your spiritual self, your higher self. What's that? And the 7 of Wands. To know how to defend yourself properly and stand your ground, right? How to stand on the truth, right? How to stand, right? Stand strong and of good courage. Of good courage, not courage to do ill, not courage to do to be malicious, not courage to be, you know, all these things that are, it's not going to help you. It's ultimately, it's not helping you. It's not helping your legacy. It's not helping. Okay. I mean, it's going to help people, you know, like, look, temperaments. At the end of the day, that balancing is going to occur, you know, there's going to be some type of positive effect for the person who was positive, for the person who was pure-hearted. All things are going to work together for their good, you know, if they're in alignment with it, right? But as for you, the sower of that evil, right? And you're not balancing yourself. You're not honoring the truth. You're not honoring your truth. You're not trying to face the truth or face your North Node. Then, buddy, you might just fail that fool's journey, right? That world. You see the world, the internet as well. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it here, y'all. That's all I got to say for now. Then we got justice. Because regardless of whether people like it or not, or people trying to, you know, establish their own kind of justice with, you know, lack of intelligente. intelligence, intuitive intelligence, especially. Like this Queen of Pentacles here, a very stable creature, you know, because they too busy trying to compete, be a competitor unnecessarily, be an opposer, an opponent unnecessarily. Like, who asked you? And then we got the Ten of Cups here. Like, it makes me think about the World Cup. Like, look. But in actuality, you're weak as fuck. Is that what they're saying? I understand why you would want to stay away from the truth. Things that reveal the truth very transparently and sharply, whether you like it or not. This is the Strength reverse. So that was a very weak-minded person here. This is the Source energy. This is talking about your mental energy, your communication. That was very weak. That was very cowardly. That was a very, unstable, stance you took there, to try to be a competitor to somebody you can never compete with. Especially on that topic. So, yeah. What is the Five of Swords? Yeah. That's like some competition there. Five of Wands. Look, and then you got the Magician here. Anyway. With his words. Yeah, deceiving people, getting blood on his hands. See, y'all gonna see a lot of people just... That's something you have to be mindful. You have to be mindful about the counseling, the information, the advice that you're giving people that may mislead them, because at the end of the day, you're going to have to answer for that. They may fall short, but you causing people to fall short, you're going to have to answer for that shit. It never fails. That's universal law. But anyway, this is the Authentic Empress. Confessions of a Venusian Master 33. And I will see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed this video.